We started Assembla with a mission to manage distributed software teams, and now these teams are everywhere. Your suppliers, your contractors, and the guys in your own company are spreading out, running around, grabbing their own tools. As I look around, I see, wow, there are a lot of great cloud apps out there, and your teams are using these apps. They're spreading out all over the internet, and they're spreading your stuff around. They work with files, they work with code, they exchange messages. You can see their activity online if you look in the right place, and they're tracking deliverables and tasks. It would be very useful for you as a manager to have access to this stuff, especially the files. So we've built a set of connectors to bring this data into Assembla project spaces. Once you get the data, you'll be able to search it, share it, and reuse it. That's a huge boost to productivity going down the road. And the secret sauce is we can look at this data, we can analyze it, and we can tell you if there are any problems that you should pay attention to. When we look at how people use Assembla, we found that they never use reports. Actually, almost never. In any given week, 1% of our users look at the reports in Assembla. They're being bombarded with data. They can't be bothered to look at reports. They can't even be bothered to look at dashboards. So one of the things we have to do in the next generation project management system is get rid of reports. The computer is great at looking at lots of data. So we're going to have the computer reading through all of your project data streams. Once we have your data, we're going to be able to do lots of interesting things with it. I'd like to talk about some specifics just to get your mind boiling with some of the possibilities. First of all, and very simply, we can tell you about next steps. If you invited someone to join your project and they didn't respond, we could remind you to go and talk to them. Second of all, we can look for hotspots in activity. We can tell you that people are working on this deliverable, but they're not working on this other deliverable which is coming due. Or, more interestingly, we can spot the places where they're having arguments, where a lot of people are contributing, for example, to a discussion. You can go and resolve that argument, unblock it, and get things to happen faster. We can also do things like basic project management. Is someone working on your next deliverable or not? That's a simple case. In a more complicated case, we might look at the pattern of how people take tasks and try to figure out if they have too many tasks. Are you running lean? That's a best practice. Or are things getting jammed up? We can see that in the data and we can let you know when you need to take some action. We can also read the words that people use, and we could tell you things like whether people were happy last week and are unhappy this week. As a manager, I'd really like to know that. And finally, this is the brave new frontier. We can analyze your code. We can use all of the great code static analysis tools that are out there, and we can read your code, and we can figure out if there are security problems, or if there are performance problems, or if there are major bugs. And then we can use our best judgment to filter through that and only pull out the important stuff to tell you to go fix. This is a phenomenon that I'm really excited about because in the future, these code analysis tools are going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. Pretty soon they're going to really understand what your programmers are doing, and they're going to be able to fix the code. So we're setting ourselves up for that happy future.